We are standing right on the edge of a totally new internet. I'm not just talking about an internet of information, but an internet of action, one that's going to be powered by trillions of AI agents, all working for us. But this amazing future, it comes with a massive, fundamental challenge that we absolutely have to solve, like right now.
Okay, let's just dive right into the heart of it. This is the central question, right? If an AI agent wants to get into your calendar or sign a document or maybe even give you financial advice, how can you or any service out there possibly trust it? I mean, without a rock-solid answer here, this future full of helpful AIs could turn into a chaotic and pretty dangerous mess fast. So first, let's just try to picture this new world. Some folks, like the team behind the Nanda project, call it the agentic web. And look, we're not just talking about the few general-purpose assistants we have today. No. We're talking about a whole ecosystem of billions, maybe even trillions, of super specialized and sometimes even disposable AI agents.
I mean, just let that number sink in. Trillions of agents. Now, imagine every single one of them needing to find, talk to, and then trust other agents just to get anything done. The scale of this is it's mind-boggling. It demands a completely new layer of trust, one that's got to be built right into the fabric of the internet itself. But how in the world do we build that?
So, how do we build that trust? Well, the answer is in creating new foundational protocols. The best way to think about them is like the fundamental rules of the road that every single agent is going to have to follow to prove who it is and what it's allowed to do. All right, the first big piece of this puzzle is a protocol called Keri. Honestly, the easiest way to think about Keri is that it lets you create a universal digital passport, a passport for an AI agent or even for yourself. And the key thing is, it's not locked down to Google or Apple or any one blockchain. It's a secure ID that lasts forever, that you always control, and this is huge. You can always recover it if your keys ever get compromised. Okay, so if Keri is the passport, then you can think of ACDCs as the visas and the special certifications stamped inside that passport. They're the verifiable credentials. But their most powerful feature, especially when we're talking about AI, is this ability to delegate authority. It means one trusted source can grant very specific, very limited permissions to someone or something else. And this right here is a perfect example of how that delegation actually works. So imagine a company, that's our root of trust, and it gives a digital key card to a manager. Now, that manager can use their authority to grant a temporary key card with limited access, say it only opens doors in the marketing department, and they give that to an AI assistant. What you get is a cryptographically secure, totally verifiable chain of command. So, okay, we've got these incredibly powerful protocols. But let's be real. How does a regular person actually use any of this stuff? Well, that's where a user-friendly wallet comes into the picture, something like the Veridian wallet.
So as you can see in the before column here, the early versions of this tech were, well, they were a bit of a mess. Everything was just jumbled together in one long, confusing list. But now if you look over at the after column, they've shifted to this really clean profile-based system. So you've got a work profile and a personal profile, and all the credentials and connections for each are kept totally separate. They even streamline the setup so you can get on board really fast and worry about verifying your recovery phrase later. It's all about making this powerful tech something anyone can actually use. Okay, so we've got the trust protocol and we've got the user-friendly wallet. Now let's see how it all comes together to actually manage AI agents in a real-world kind of scenario. This quote from the developers really just hits the nail on the head. We are moving away from a world where an AI just claims it has a skill to a world where it can show up with a cryptographically signed credential from a trusted authority like a real CPA firm that proves it has that skill. It's a complete and total game changer. All right, let's walk through how a system like Nanda actually puts all these tools into action. So first, an AI provider registers their agent, giving it a verifiable identity. Then you, the user, create a delegated authority where you set the rules for what your agents can do. Things like draft reports is okay, but sign documents is not. Then, when you make a request, it gets sent to the right AI, which first has to present its credentials to prove it has permission. And finally, the entire interaction is completely auditable. And here's the real kicker. Every single step, from your first request to the AI's final answer, is cryptographically linked together. It creates this unbreakable, auditable trail, so you can trace any action an AI takes all the way back to the exact rule you created and the exact moment you authorized it. We're talking about ultimate accountability for the entire AI web. And look, This isn't just some technical curiosity for nerds. Building this foundational layer of trust, this is what's going to decide whether this new agentic web becomes a force for human empowerment and incredible efficiency, or, a new source of chaos and fraud. The stakes are really that high.
So to kind of wrap this all up, the key takeaways are pretty clear. This coming AI-powered internet absolutely needs a new layer of trust to be safe. And open protocols like Keri and ACDC, they provide that foundation specifically because they aren't controlled by any one company. And of course, user-friendly wallets are making this tech easy enough for anyone to actually use. But the most important thing to remember is that this whole system allows AI to prove what it can do, creating a way more secure and user-controlled internet for all of us.
And that really brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. Right now, we build all these fences around our digital assistants because, deep down, we can't fully trust them. So, what new possibilities open up? What could we really build? What could we achieve if every single digital agent we worked with was, without a shadow of a doubt, provably trustworthy? The potential is just immense. Thanks for joining me.